Greetings, celestial angelic warriors of the new earth shining through. We, beloved ones, are at the great compression breakthrough. For the last couple hours, it is 7:22 p.m. Eastern Time on 7/14/2020, kin 107. 73 coming in and 17 right off the bat. Let's do this. My heart's been imploding and exploding for the last couple hours. I'd like to dedicate today's transmission to precious crystal child Iris. The iris is one of my favorite flowers, especially the purple ones, right? And thank you to her beloved divine goddess mother, Leia, and their whole family, and their little crystal doggy. Thank you for looking after our beloved earth angels. The animal kingdom are our protectors and caretakers. Thank you, angels of light, for reaching out and sending me the beautiful images of your family. It was a true heart's delight. Namaste. These crystal children really know how to pull on my heartstrings. I came to this realm for the children, and as I connect and realize the Buddha nature, become one with Source, I become Grandfather, Great Mystery, and I see all sentient beings, all Pachamama's children as my grandchildren, from the tiniest little one to the largest, from the youngest to the oldest. I do love you all. I even have 90-year-old grandchildren, these precious beings. And as I sit alone in the cave as the great dragon, preparing moment to moment for the great infinite expansion in this now, everything that expands compresses. It is a pulsing nature. So thank you all for sharing this great beauty with me. I appreciate, although I do not have time to respond to most comments anymore and to many emails and messages. I do my best to reach out to as many as I can and connect, but it does bring me great joy when you speak of these precious ones that listen to and enjoy these daily transmissions, because these are for all of you, and especially the crystal children of light, which ultimately, yes, is all beings, all sentient beings. But you know what I'm saying. The little ones bring me so much joy. So thank you, crystal children, for saving this world with your beautiful love and your beautiful light of Creator Source energy. Today we have more images from this amazing comet, Neowise. This great being of light is touching many souls on the earth plane, transmitting higher dimensional codes, higher energies, higher frequencies, and assisting Gaia with this great ascension and all her children upon this earth, this earthly plane of existence, in which can be interpreted as new wisdom or wisdom of the One. We'll talk about this today in our transmissions. Today, we had some interesting symbols on the Schumann resonance that came through. Then we had a short, powerful blast of 44 hertz for the divine 44 energy. 44 also connected to the 8 of the infinite. And these are these higher dimensional 5D gamma waves emanating from the central sun at the center of our galaxy. It is the same still white magnetic light of infinite light that is the center of your being, your presence, your vessel, which is mirrored to the center of all things, center of the galaxy that all things rotate around, the center of you that all things rotate around, and then the center of the universe is a great central sun that all galaxies rotate around. And then we have a higher dimensional central sun, which the multiverse rotates around or creates the simulated motion. You can learn more about that in Walter Russell's book, The Secret of Light, about how God, Creator Source, is the still white magnetic light at the center of all things. And Grandfather, Great Mystery, is beyond even that, beyond the clear light of bliss. 1010 coming in. At the end of today's transmission, we'll talk about more on this game of life. Someone had a question about this. I know many people question what we call this game of life or what it means. It means many things, but we'll try to simplify this and keep it all within an hour's time. Today, we had 117 M1.5 or greater earthquakes within the last 24 hours. So we have the 117, the 711 mirror. Our precious Galapagos Islands today had a 4.5, 10 kilometers depth, 1.839 degrees north of the equator. The equator, the 0 point, runs through Ecuador and through the northern part of the Galapagos, which the Galapagos Islands is a sacred portal and is part of our beloved Ecuador. And it is 90.776 longitude. We also had a 4.4 in Iceland, northeast Iceland, which is 64 latitude, 17.899 longitude. So we have the 4.4 that mirrored the Schumann resonance today on the 17 portal, which again is connected to the 8. So we have the 8-8 Lionsgate encoded within the sacred portal of Iceland. We also had a 4.0 in Chile, South America at 111 UTC. So we have the 111 code, 68.743, 73 again, heaven on earth, and a very synchronistic earthquake, a 4.6, again today in El Salvador, which was in Puerto El Triunfo. Triunfo meaning triumph. Yesterday we had libertate for liberation, freedom. Today we have triumph, triunfo, meaning triumph, success, winning. Love has won to liberate all sentient beings of pure consciousness. All these things are coming through with these synchronicities from divine creator source. We also had in Mexico a 4.3 at 413. So we have the 4343. 77 at 17.76 latitude, 101.067 longitude. We had the 77 and the 17 encoded in this activation portal. So again today the whole ring of fire was totally lit up. These higher dimensional waves coming in. We also had a 4.5, 37.786 latitude, 87.666 longitude. In the sacred Kunlun Mountains. Kunlun symbolizes the new earth, heaven on earth. The ancient Taoist masters would say, when Lao Tzu, who wrote the Tao Te Ching, attained immortality, he ascended Kunlun Mountain. We will start today's first transmission from Divine Bro Star of the Light, Paul Dobry Carey. A further messenger of cosmic light arrives from far across the galaxy. The name given to the space traveler is Neowise, meaning new wisdom, and displays its physical form as a comet being, releasing light key codes and long, fiery tail streams behind it, energized by solar rays assisting it to deliver its cosmic payload into the path of Earth's orbit. The last few months have created some of the greatest challenges, in turn bringing some of the strongest feelings of energetic changes to date, in particular during the month of solstice. For those experiencing deep inner changes, it may feel like being stripped of joy, emphasized by feelings of depression and emptiness, which would have been prevalent as a result. This would have highlighted the requirement to look very closely at what it is that establishes your identity, both to you and to those around you. Look at you is the message being given. Acceptance of your current state may prove difficult because it means recognizing that you have little control of the changes taking place across your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self. The singularity portal previously mentioned in writings is bringing about displacement at different parts of your being as they are fluctuating at different frequencies. You may experience these fluctuations as if you are coming or going, what to do next, leave it, finish it, don't bother, let it go, procrastinate, daydream, concentrate, tiredness, frustration at big things, annoyance at little things, other people, Yes, other people. No, friendly than solitary, organized than getting lost in yourself. Who am I? This is the process of the divine self establishing deep within your heart's center, emerging and overshadowing the previous patterns and habits of behavior held in place for so long by the ego self. Time to move over, little one, and let Source direct. You will still be you, but a greater version of you. It is not about understanding what is happening or even predicting what is to come. It is all about acceptance and letting go what is being released from you by you. You might not like to give up control. You might be too stubborn to believe you need to change. You might try with all your might to hold it all together at a time when everything is coming apart. To go it alone because you are strong and don't need anyone else to help you to get where it is you are going. Spiritual vanity may prevent you from asking for help from others. You know you best after all, but understand this, little one. You knows you better. Believe that you can. Let yourself do the rest. With love and blessings, Paul Dobrikari from PolarisAB.com. Today from Divine Sister of the Light, Judith Kusel. This time is a huge gift for those souls ready to fully step into their highest power as souls. In truth, there are multiple dimensions now operating simultaneously, and it is bringing immense opportunities for souls to finally leave all the old selves behind, from all previous lives and this one, all the old stuff, etc. There needs to be a deep and profound emptying. As I stated yesterday, for the fires of purification will sweep through such a soul to the highest degrees as the white flame, now fully returned, is making its presence felt. We are in an immense, sweeping motion of purification. I cannot find words to describe this. Human language so often completely fails me, as I am given these pictures, information, and cannot find the right words to express what is given me. For souls who truly wish to embrace the wholeness, the totality of their soul mission and purpose, and the totality of who and what they are at a soul level, and the reason they have incarnated, this is a divine gifting time. Indeed, it is a huge window of opportunity opening, which has never been here before. It is the ending of what was and beginning to what is there already, now manifesting into true and much higher dimensional forms of existence. I am reminded of what was said in the New Testament, that two people shall stand next to each other. One will rise into the fullness of oneness and unity with the divine, and the other will stay where they are. This is indeed happening now. Let go of attachments. Let go of any concepts of how your life should be in the next few weeks and months. Forward planning is futile, for so much is happening now that the only place is here and now, to be fully present every moment, and with all of you, there lies the trick, to not be pulled forward nor backward, to be in this moment, and fully anchored in the divine and in the heart center, fully in the divine love, light, and power. Even the greatest seers can at the moment not foresee what is happening, for all is going through such immense changes, and one moment is not the same as even the next. Even between breaths, everything is changing. Become aware, become present, allow yourself to be emptied of all notions of who and what you are, nor need be, or what you need to accomplish or to become. You are being transformed. If you are ready and accepting of this into a totally new you, you will suddenly wake up one morning and realize you are transformed. The you thought you were has gone forever. You are not who you project out anymore. The personas have gone. The masks have gone. The true higher soul self has totally taken over, and your full soul powers have been restored. Such is the gift of those who are ready to receive this. Some will choose not to accept the gift. All have free will and choice. What is opening up now for those who choose the total filling and total stepping into the fullness of their higher souls? A brand new world is busy opening up. From JudithKusel.com and from Divine Bro Star of the Light, Pars Kute, it is the now. All volunteers to take an earth vessel to assist Gaia are awakening to the new dawn. This new dawn is our personal and planetary awakening to the fact that Gaia is a living being who, just like many of her inhabitants, are ready to expand her planetary consciousness, and hence her planetary form, into the frequency of the fifth dimensional here and now. Allow unconditional love and higher dimensional light to enter your consciousness. You begin to remember your higher dimensional self, as well as the reason who you chose to take an earth vessel within this now. We are being called to remember our vow to be a channel of light. With sacred love of one, Pars Kute, and from Divine Sister of the Light, Shanta Gabriel, for Archangel Gabriel, letting go into the power of light. Release any need to cling to the status quo. You are being asked to let go into the power of light, which will allow you to live in your truth. It is becoming increasingly clear that everything is changing within and around us. What we have always known is morphing into a new, more expanded and unknown reality. For most of us, this experience is amazingly uncomfortable. It feels like we are growing out of our skins. Our benevolent and protective guidance system is asking us to release any need to cling to what we have always known. The very process of letting go helps us to feel more aligned with our soul's highest reality in every moment. This alignment creates a more fulfilling and purposeful connection with divinity working in us so we can trust our intuition more freely. It is even more amazing when I consider that this message from Archangel Gabriel was written over 20 years ago when the power of divine light was only just beginning to grow stronger on the planet. As everything that I considered important was then systematically taken away from me, there could be no more clinging. Those were the years when I apparently needed the Mack truck form of learning experience because I ignored the type of teaching from the angels that was more subtle and feather-like, such as this message. The light we are letting go into now holds greater power than we have ever experienced. There is infinite intelligence and divine love within the light. This divine light holds the key to alignment with our heart's wisdom to help us develop all that we need to thrive in the new reality awakening in our lives. When we surrender and let go into the flow of divine light, we are lifted up, supported, and nourished by the greatest love there is. Divine Presence, thank you for supporting and uplifting me so I may surrender into your guiding love. Please give me the fortitude to continue to let go gracefully of all that is not in harmony with the divine plan for my life. I am grateful that I am able to listen more deeply to the wisdom that is flowing through my heart continuously from my soul. I am asking for the strength to stand in the truth and courage that is there within me. Thank you for helping me to receive at a deeper level than ever before from the light of love and wisdom within me. May all beings receive the power of divine light within their hearts and illuminate the consciousness of all humanity, and so it is. Shanta Gabriel. Dear one, it is a new time, it is a new moment. When you cling to the status quo, you are clinging to the way things used to be. Sometimes it feels safer to hold to the old way. Change can be frightening, and yet it is our world that is changing constantly. In holding on to the status quo, you are clinging to a thought of how something used to be, when you have the power to change it for the better this very moment. There is tremendous power in your thoughts. A thought is like a prayer to the universe, asking for what you want. If your thoughts are unconscious, if fears play a large part in what goes on in your mind, in effect you are asking for the things that frighten you to come into your life. Fear is part of the status quo, and the greatest fear seems to be of the unknown. Yet it is not possible to always know exactly what is to be. You are being asked to let go of your fears and to allow the power of the light of God to guide, nourish, and protect you. Letting go is a moment-to-moment process. It is surrendering to the flow of life. You are being asked to let go into the light, which is the flow of God moving within you at every moment. The divine presence is the only constant in the midst of change. This is a truth you can trust. Is not the power of light and love a greater attraction than fear and doubt? It is your attachment to wanting things never to change that holds you back. Simply ask clearly for what you want from the higher power and the angels. All the assistance you need is available to you if you but ask. When you are free from old fears and attachments, you will know the freedom and joy of your truth. Your truth is always what makes you happy, and this is divine will for you at all times. God wants you to be happy. Pray to live in the light of your truth. Know that you are divinely guided at all times. Ask for assistance to let go of fears that no longer serve you. Allow the grace of the angels to work through you, knowing you are profoundly loved. Remember your message from Archangel Gabriel today. Release any need to cling to the status quo. You are being asked to let go into the power of light, which will allow you to live in your truth. From shantagabriel.com, and today from Divine Sister of the Light, Aluna Ash, 9D, for the 10 portal day from July 13th through the 22nd. And also I wanted to point out we have a powerful new moon coming in on the 20th. So the next 6 days are going to be powerful revelations, revealing, unveiling. The 20th will be a 222 portal, and also I believe the 7th day of 10 days in a row of galactic activation portals. So from the 13th to the 22nd, July 2020, we have 10 galactic activation portal days in a row. Portal to new timing frequency. Linear time merges with galactic and cosmic time. Increased cosmic solar activity. Increase in dream activity, lucid dreaming. Synchronicity increases and accelerates. Manifestations speed up rapidly, more receptive to receive cosmic downloads. Increased paranormal activity. The veil of the senses lifts more than usual. Connects different segments of time. Synchronization of time. New sequence and new timing frequency of Earth. Planetary galactic synchronization. Merging point of different timelines, potentials. Connected to DNA activations and shifts in consciousness. Mental sphere harmonization increases to integrate light-dark within, integrating the greater dimensional self. Increased telepathy, projection, astral activity, happening during the last 2 weeks of the 13th moon cycle, which is the end of this galactic year. And from Isis channelings, legacy of Venus and the Blue Rose, Sirius plus Venus Union 2020. While focuses on the blue ray as it is Sirius season, Savan in India, month of Shiva, there is another important factor to keep in mind. Venus, the blue ray of God's will, power, wisdom, faith, and protection, carries within it the magenta ray of the Divine Feminine. This magenta ray has always been shown to me in relation with Mary Magdalene and her Order of the Scarlet Rose, and various activation sessions for Sentinels of the Goddess. Also, a while back, a series of sessions had brought forth the knowing that the original template of the Divine Feminine Wisdom had been sent for safekeeping via the Rose lineage and the Lemurian Priestess to Venus. 8-8 flowing in again. The original wisdom was uploaded to a 4-petaled rose and sent to Venus for safekeeping, till it was safe to bring this template back to Earth, and it is in this very connection that Venus gains extreme importance. A recent client session brought forth an interesting revelation. This activation for the said sentinel to the goddess, under the directive of Mary Magdalene, took place in the dimension of a crystal temple in Venus, and was revealed to be an activation of the origin of the goddess or rose lineage, that of the blue rose. The blue rose was shown as a 22-petaled rose. I have mentioned earlier that the original wisdom was uploaded as a 4-petaled rose, which is connected with the 4 foundation pillars, 4 winds, 4 directions, something that the original wisdom keepers carry within their heart space when they come in at the turn of ages to see the new age as they are coming in now. This is the same wisdom that seeded the ancient civilization of Maya and Aztec timelines, and is collaborated from the findings of the 4-petaled rose at the base of the Pyramid of the Sun in Mexico. The knowing that comes is that there are various levels of the numbers of petals: 4, original template; 8, star of Inanna; Ishtar, Venus, Lemuria, 12, and 12 around 1 equal 13, rose circles, Lemuria, crystal priestess, circles in 22 as denoted by the blue rose. The blue rose has a connection to the Melchizedek order of the White Brotherhood, the ancient wisdom keepers and guardians of the Akashic records, the very aspect that the dispensation of blue ray of Sirius, Monad Shiva, Chohan El Moreh, Archangel Michael, and Sirius season assists in bringing to our awareness access to the Akashic records via Stargate alignments of Sirius for remembrance of the ancient wisdom held within the Akashic records. And this blue ray and magenta ray, origin, blue rose, marriage in this Sirius season is noteworthy as Venus has come into alignment along the stargates of Sirius, Orion, Aldebaran, Alcyon, Pleiades, and the Galactic Center after 8 years, 2012, which means quantum new levels of assistance is available for the Divine Feminine, wisdom codes for new creation of a new age, to be brought in via the blue rose and its branches, scarlet rose, golden rose, black rose, and white rose, along with access and remembrance of the Akashic wisdom for individual and planetary ascension. December solstice 2012 brought in the maiden aspect, seeds for awakening of the Divine Feminine. Solstice eclipse of June 21st, 2020 brought in the mother aspect of the Divine Feminine wisdom of new foundation codes of new creation. Venus is the key player here in 2012 and now 2020. 444, April 4th, 2020 saw Venus align with the Pleiades, Alcyon, a major stargate for incarnating souls to enter Earth, on a day aligned with the frequencies of building stable and secure foundations of new creation. 26th of April saw Venus at the gate of Ascension at Soul Star Chakra with Venus Moon in Aldebaran conjunction. Venus heliacal rising on June 9th took place in alignment with Aldebaran, Eye of Illumination, one of the 4 royal stars, guardians of heaven. It is the Watcher of the East, a military star associated with the fierce protection energies of Archangel Michael of the Blue Ray. It is associated with integrity, honor, power, courage, fierceness, and abundance, and is particularly linked to bringing in new levels of social acceptance, tolerance, and understanding with respect to social rights on a global scale under visionary world leaders so needed at this point in time. This marks the beginning of a new synodic cycle for Venus, Inanna, as the Gemini Metageidus, the same cycle that was in effect on 21/12/2012. Venus, Inanna, will be entering the gate of authority in conjunction with the waning moon in close proximity to Aldebaran on July 16th as she begins a new cycle of death, rebirth, and empowerment. Hence, July-August make for a super potent blue ray plus magenta ray marriage, Shiva-Shakti union, Sirius-Venus union, Christ-Buddha consciousness plus divine feminine marriage, Akashic records access and remembrance for planetary and individual ascension, marriage with divine feminine wisdom for new consciousness and creation. Important markers: Sun Sirius conjunct 4th of July, Venus Aldebaran conjunction 11th of July, 1 degree apart. Venus at first Inanna gateway 16 July, feast of Mary Magdalene 22 July, July 22nd, which will be the 10th day of the Galactic activation portals. The heliacal rising of Sirius, 26th of July, and Lion's Gate 8-8, while the blue ray brings in higher chakra activations, throat, third eye, and crown. The magenta ray brings in activations for the high heart and womb, sacral, and Aldebaran brings in courage at the solar plexus. And this marriage of blue plus magenta equaling the violet aspect, the bridge into the new age of Aquarius, the new creation. That's how the energies are amped up from IsisChannelings.wordpress.com. Today from the Archangelic Calendar, Gaia is in a fire, air, spirit setting, and from what we have recently learned, it is because we are indecisive about something. This is a transmutation setting, so it's something that would be in regards to letting go. When we were in 3D, Gaia was much more verbal than she is now. When we ask her what we need to ponder, she now shows us directly via life experience, along with the macro timeline anomalies, double vision. The physical directions of the earth are rotating randomly. This must be what Moses and his crew experienced when they were lost in the space-time continuum for 40 years. Luckily, we have a bit more know-how than they did at that time. A 3D macro timeline has reached total calamity, and the versions of ourselves that remain there only as shadows have directly experienced this. Obviously, we were not consciously aware of this, but this is the reason why you can feel as if a weight has been lifted. This was one of the many macro doomsday timelines running on 3D, and as more parallel timelines reach this point, we will experience continued relief. We must be extra gentle with our emotional inputs, because on some levels we are mourning the parts of ourselves that recently exited the multiverse. On this timeline, one of the most apparent macro changes is the feeling that the sun is exuding dense upgrades. The sun is something extraordinary. The confines of these terms are only up to its divine interpretation on that specific day. To be noted, one of the most common Ascension symptoms at the moment is food sensitivities. This is purely vibrational in its origins, so eat the highest vibe foods. Food is metabolized sun rays, and because we are in such a dense sun setting, certain foods will not agree with you. If you remember running around in the sun all day as a child and not being interested in eating, this would be why. No individual personality knew that any of this was coming, so it can only mean that it was orchestrated by infinitely expanding creator source. We simply knew that the 5D calendar date was zeroed in upon, and thus understood to keep our sensors up. This is how we found the 4th of 9 missing days, and we are also seeing that the lost days have a good deal to do with macro timelines coming to a definitive end. Just keep in mind that this is not as scary as it sounds, and we have already gone through 4 of them with little to no consequence. The Schumann is doing a steady climb into the 300s, as we have forewarned you many seasons ago. This is going to be a not-so-gentle nudge to our planet's element of air, and this is being directly called forth by Gaia. We have already aided her in our responsibilities in this matter. Humanity has made a definite decision not to be part of a rigidly structured financial system, and you are well aware of what happens when we commit to a philosophical concept. It happens almost instantaneously. How this will logistically manifest remains to be seen, but we always know the outcome of the general situation. This is precisely how working on macro scale works, and we are fast becoming experts in this field. Words have great power when we use them properly. Those who are free thought-based sentient beings are called conspiracy theorists. Do not allow someone to label you this. May I suggest branding yourself master of the rabbit hole, because it is precisely what a modern-day conspiracy theorist is, an avid, independent researcher. Anything about to hit the general public was initially found out by independent research. Comet Neowise is an engaging celestial personality. It reminds us of the celestial body that created Moldavite. It is clearly something Archangel Metatron has put into the motion, and it's enlightening to say the least. Neo will be entering the conscious thoughts of our collective very shortly. We are excited to see how this manifests, as creativity will be running wild. Our galactic legions have made their presence known to the CCP, and their threatening stance shut down China's international airport for a short period. These legions have also been very active across the planet, doing fantastic work wherever they go. They are foretelling some major upcoming timeline shifts, and they can clearly see this by the rifts of forwarding time that lay ahead. I do not mean to go all Noah on you, but we need to get in the ark, and what I actually mean by that is we need to develop a stronger sense of community. If we had no structure or society, we would only have each other. We are far too digital in our friendships, and it's an excellent time to increase our soul family bonds face to face. Humanity, we are all on the same team. Still, the conflicting sides have decided to see their drama all the way through to the final conflict. Be prepared to rise to this challenge in a direct, subcultural, organizational sort of way. Never make the mistake of thinking that things will last forever. This is from the archangeliccalendar.com. Today from Divine Sister of the Light, Elizabeth Peru. There's a huge cosmic influence happening right now. Perhaps over the past 24 hours you felt personally challenged in some way. Perhaps you felt something was wrong, when really a great turning point is here. It's often just before the light of dawn that we question our journey. Over the coming 24 hours, Jupiter, you can see it sparkling resplendently in the western night sky, is right opposite the sun, with Earth and you in between. Do you feel like you're under the spotlight? Indeed, the full potential of your soul is on display. Will you face you? ElizabethPeru.com. And today, from Buddhist Master Jetsun Milarepa. Like an artist frightened by the devil he paints, the sufferer in samsara is terrified by his own imagination. Like a man caught in quicksands, thrashing and struggling about, so beings drown in the mess of their own thoughts, mistaking fantasy for reality, causes an experience of suffering. Mind is poisoned by interpretation of consciousness and of form, dissolving figments of imagination and fantasy. With a mind of compassionate insight, remain in perfect awareness in order to help all beings. So acquiring conventional virtue, freed from the web of interpretive thought, unsurpassable understanding is gained as a Buddha friend to the world. Nagarjuna. Today from the Dzolkhin Times, Kin 107, Blue Electric Hand. Electric is the name for the number 3, and its key words are activate, service, and bond. This is the third day of the Red Serpent wave spell, the second portal day in a row. The journey takes off now at such a speed. Expect to feel a little weird and lightheaded today. Electric days are always high energy, and when they occur on a portal day, that's a crazy combination that only happens 3 times in a cycle of the Dzolkhin. Today is Blue Hand, which represents accomplishment, healing, and knowing. Not only is it an electric day and a portal day, we also add in the mix of the healing energies of the Blue Hand. It is easy to imagine how one could activate healing. The Serpent wave spell, although intense, does offer healing through the transformative process, the shedding of our old selves. Much can be accomplished today, but be prepared to be worn out from all that energy. And today, from Divine Sister of the Light, Christina Papagiorgio, Blue Electric Hand, Kin 107, 14 July 2020, activating healing and accomplishment. 14-7-2020 equal 14-7-4 equal 14-11 equal 5-11 equal 7. 14, media number, publicity, promotion, recognition. 5, freedom, liberation, transformation, change. 11, portal, gate, polarity. 4, form, structure, foundation, earth. 7, magic, mystic, spiritual, initiation. Kin 107 equal 8, abundance, infinity, flow. 10, 7, magical manifestation power. 511 code equal freedom portal. Happy Bastille Day. July 14th is the French Independence Day, which celebrates the storming of Bastille, a military fortress and prison on July 14, 1789, a turning point of the French Revolution. So we have a huge triple liberation portal today. 14th July, Bastille Day, plus a 511 freedom portal code, plus a gap day. So, I am declaring today another huge, magical, planetary liberation day to break free from any form of imprisonment or anything limiting your freedom. Day 3 in the Red Serpent wave spell of survival instinct, Kundalini rising, life force, passion, and rapid transformation through shedding our old skin. So how are we liking the serpent energy so far, planetary kin? Quite earth-shattering and potent power. I hope that you are all able to rise out of the survival game in the old matrix and embrace your shamanic powers. Today we are given the power to utilize the vitality and life force energies of Chikchan to accomplish great healing and dedication to divine service. Tone of creation. Today's tone is electric. This is pure, creative genius energy, Tesla power. The electric tone coupled with the blue monkey and white wizard magic, and throw in the serpent energies on our second gap day, not to mention Mars and Aries too, and we have enough dynamite to blow 100 Bastilles. Be very careful with that high voltage current. Electric days are super potent for catalyzing change and fueling what you want to create through focused intent. Electric is tone number 3 in the tone of creation. It is the first of the 3 emotional realm tones. Its focus is on being of service to others through the action of bonding, that is coming together with others to co-create and be of service. Electric energy provides the ignition or spark for your manifestation. It is a current that needs to keep moving and flowing, transmitting energy. It adds power to anything you are creating today, an extra electrical boost to draw upon. The power of 3 is derived from 2 units merging and creating the third, more powerful entity. This action duplicates the essence of bonding and service that the electric tone provides. Thus today we may experience close bonding and divine destined relationships that reflect the timeless quality of enchantment. Today beckons you to become emotionally mature, expand your focus from purely bonding with one to the joy of bonding with all. Together with your divine counterpart, offer your united energies to be of divine service to humanity. Another super potent day, incredible power and magical energies at your disposal to channel into your divine service projects. Note a strong electrical charge exists between monadic souls, so coupled with today's code, this makes for a very electrifying experience. Expect sparks to fly, fireworks in the sky. The electric tone in the serpent wave spell also activates our planetary kundalini and serpents, rainbow and feathered, Quetzalcoatl. So Gaia's grid is pumping today. Lots of planetary fuel for Gaia's liberation and ascension journey. Given the potency of today's code, we can volunteer to direct this energy for planetary healing. The battle for our health, vitality, and life force has been waged through polluting our food, oil, water, land, as well as our bodies and our minds. The insidious use of microwaves and destructive frequencies emitted through invasive technologies such as 5G, direct energy weapon attacks, HAARP, HAARP, lasers, and also supercomputer-directed mind control attacks. Given that we are adventuring in the shamanic underworld territory of the Red Serpent and White Wizard, the themes of manipulation, hypnotic trances, spells, curses, domination, power struggles, and other mind control and takeover practices are rising to the fore in order to be balanced, cleared, and dissolved, particularly in relation to karmic patterns. So today affords a divinely gifted opportunity to clear all of these from the collective planetary consciousness and timelines, as well as personal timelines. Muchos gratitude for your divine service. Pachamama is speaking loud and clear today, and she is saying, today is the day. It is time for Gaia to break free from her bondage as a prison planet, and today is her liberation day. Today's question is, how can I accomplish great healing through applying my magical power to liberate myself and others through divine service? So, beloveds, today is an amazing day, a great day to achieve potent healing and using the magic available to us to push through any perceived boundaries and trust the divine energies that would like to be accomplished through us. We are all very divine electrical conduits today. Expect fireworks. Power to the people. Viva la revolution. Divine blessings for electrical, magic, and miracles today. In La Keka La Kin, Christina White, Magnetic World Bridger, Kin 66. Kin 107, Blue Electric Hand. The mantra, the code for today is, I activate in order to know, bonding healing, I seal the store of accomplishment. With the electric tone of service, I am guided. By the power of magic, I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. So on this second day of 10 galactic activation portals in a row, I know many of you are feeling these intense waves, these powerful emotional releases, some upgrading, activations, downloads. I know for a couple hours I was getting chills through the back of my skull, down my spine, on my arms, legs, all over the vessel. We can feel these as we're connecting with the angelic realm, as you're getting downloads, as you're getting activations. The vessel, the sacred vessel, is in the process of being upgraded from divine creator source, your true self, your highest self. So let us know, beloved beings of light, in the comments below what you're experiencing, what you're feeling, what you are seeing, your dreams, your visions, your synchronicities. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below and the little bell next to subscribe to get notifications on future uploads. And as always, we have a link in the description below the video to the transcriptions of today's transmissions, and we archive these on our website, primedisclosure.com. I'd like to also thank everyone for their support and pledges on Patreon. If you'd like to support our mission and work with Prime Disclosure, you can make a pledge on patreon.com/Prime Disclosure. Alrighty, let us finish this off with a quick story about eternity, the infinite. I like to talk from time to time as I tap into Grandfather Great Mystery, as he uses this vessel to transmit information and gnosis to the collective. We speak sometimes about this game of life. Some people have a difficult time understanding or seeing that this dream that we're in, this simulation, is a big game we play with ourselves. And I've explained this multiple times in the past. So in the past and the future, when I'm being plastered, sometimes I gotta let these tongue ties through, these Freudian slips, these momentary lapses of reason or sanity. So let's get into this, what we call this game of life, or this comedy, this drama, this movie, this story. Let us take a quick look. Now, I pieced this game together like a great puzzle over the last several years through my daily transmission. Each transmission is like a little piece of the puzzle with over 1,000. Right now we have 1,000 little pieces that when you listen to them all, it makes consciousness expand. It assists in revealing what this puzzle, this game, this great game we call the puzzle of life. And we're going to have a little fun with this game because it has infinite potential. And let's not take it too seriously, or ourself too seriously, because ourself is the game. And we must drop our ideologies and our belief systems just for a moment. Let go of our story. Don't worry. You'll not disappear. If you do, I'll bring you back. I'll guide you back to this realm. Yes, Grandfather Great Mystery loves to be sarcastic at times. And a real heyoka. Maybe sometimes a pain in the butt. So let's travel back together. We'll hold each other's hand. Travel back to the beginning of time when we were just pure consciousness with infinite potential and infinite creativity. And see yourself as this one still white magnetic light sitting there in its pure bliss, pure love, pure consciousness. And in front of you is this large canvas. Actually, this canvas is infinite. And what is this canvas? It is emptiness, silence, stillness, the infinite nothingness, which we created. You create the canvas to paint upon. We created the space-time continuum to create within, to create these holograms and these holographic universes to play with, to play in and around. And yes, this is like a cosmic game of hide-go-seek. What do? We create what we call a reality, a simulation, a projection, a manifestation. We start playing with that hologram. Let's create stars, universes, galaxies, nebulas. Let's paint beautiful colors. Let's create spatial time, non-linear time, linear time. It's infinite. Use your imagination. And we create these planets, We put life upon these planets. And then what do? We transmute, transform, evolve these things, mutate these things, like a sculpture, like a great sculpture. And we animate these things with life. And what do? We put our consciousness into these animated characters. Then we start wearing different masks. We come in many shapes, forms, colors, sizes, different perceptions. But at the source of these perceptions is pure awareness. We're being aware of what we're creating. And at first, we remember that we created this creation we put our awareness into, like entering a temporary story. And over time, we get more challenges. We make these things more challenging. We take on these different roles, personas, and we start playing a deeper game of forgetting or amnesia. We create these concepts of good versus evil, right versus wrong, love versus hate in this duality universe, all for the sake of experience. Why? Because we wanted to experience everything, and it's part of the process of learning, understanding. How do you realize or experience what you are? By experiencing what you're not. It is a process of elimination, and it is a kind of game that we play with ourselves. Let's see how deeper down the rabbit hole we go, how much we can suffer. Part of the suffering is part of the experiment of separation. You can only suffer in separation, in duality, with these conjured energies, these frequencies, these resonance. Alan Watts would say, we are God playing hide-go-seek with itself. And where does the mind of man seek? In external things, in books and teachers and priests and everything outside, when the true teacher guides the initiate, the disciple, within themselves, because that is where the sacred jewel hides, the jewel of truth, the jewel of realization. That's why the masters through time, the master teachers, like Yeshua Christos would say, the kingdom of heaven is within you, within your awareness, within your consciousness, beyond the veils, beyond the persona, beyond the thoughts, beyond the feeling, beyond the form, and on and on and on we go, always playing in the light of the cosmos. The Hindu would say Brahma, symbolizing creator source, falls asleep, all for the joy of waking up. And what a joyous journey that is. This is part of the Ascension. We descended into the darkness, into the forgetfulness, into the suffering, to rise up, to lift up, to return home, return to source, return to innocence. In a conscious state, we call it eternal bliss consciousness. So let's dive deep, go all the way. Don't just stick a little toe in. Dive deep into the waters of life and let go of the shore and let the sacred flow carry you home. We have these sacred bells and crystal singing bowls and different vessels that resonate certain tones and frequencies. We see this bell sitting there still, silent, and it takes an action, a motion, to bring it into resonance, to rise up its frequency, to emanate sound. So we hit the side of this bowl or vessel with a mallet or some tool that resonates that element and produces sound. A sphere of sound emanates out from the still center, out to the ends of the universe. And the Zen master will say, where does that sound go when that bell comes to rest? It returns to that still center to be rung again, and that is part of the game. Stillness into motion, returning to stillness, silence into sound, returning to silence, emptiness into form, to return to emptiness. That's why the master saw that, in truth, all things are intrinsically empty, because emptiness is the field upon which the form plays out. It's different dreams and realities to experience its full potential and infinite dreams of what it is. So I hope that answers anyone's question about this game of life. Most answers lead back to more questions, and it goes on and on and on. Eventually you get to a point where you shut off the internal dialogue even for a moment and let go into the freedom of that pure awareness. That is why Zen Master Benkai would say, all things are perfectly resolved in the unborn mind of Buddha. It is that unborn mind of pure awareness, pure consciousness, that is what we call God, Creator, Buddha, the Tao. The name is irrelevant. They're all fingers pointing to the same moon of enlightenment, which is your true nature, dear one. So rise up, wake up, keep shining your light brightly into the night, and be still in body, mind, and spirit to realize and experience your oneness with all things in all realms, all timelines, all dimensions, here now, in this body of life, where I always am. Have a beautiful and blessed day. I love you all. Namaste.